Howdy peeps, I'll be doing well. So, you know what, right? Once upon a time, I'd have been like, oh, coincidence. You know, something happens and you sort of think to yourself, well, that's a coincidence. What a coincidence. These days, I'm at the stage where, well, not these days, but for a long time, I've been at the stage where it's like, I don't believe in coincidences. It's like literally everything happens for a reason. Be it good or bad, right? And I did a video, where the hell was it? So I'm just looking through now. It was a couple of days ago. It might have been the Karmic Chameleon one. I think it was the introduction to that. And I find this ever so interesting. Because, well, where do I start? Well, at the beginning, I suppose. Pardon me. So, obviously, like many of you guys, I watch a whole array of different types of channels for different things, and when I did the Karmic Chameleon, there is another YouTuber. I'm not going to name him. It's like, it's not. I haven't got any disrespect for him. In fact, much to the opposite. It's like I'll see the stuff that they do, and it's just like, that's actually really impressive. Like, just like, it's maybe something some can only dream of. Maybe it's that. And in one of my videos prior to the Karmic Chameleon one, when I was talking about narcissistic women, that they've got a real bad attitude about themselves, and the whole personality is totally fake. Everything about them is fake, and like they're fake on the outside as well as on the inside. You could argue for a personality disorder, I think, in a lot of cases, but it is subjective, and I'm not actually trying to like poke holes or point fingers or anything like that. Anyway, one of the YouTubers that I watch, they released a video, and it was after I did the Karmic Chameleon one, and it was almost as if they'd watched the video and assumed I was talking about them, because of the things that I've been speaking about. And you know, these aren't the things that I've mentioned like just in like the tail end of 22 coming into 23. These have been things that I've been talking about for the last 8 years on the channel. 8 years. You know, the fakery of people, how disingenuous people are, why they do it, if they've got something wrong with them psychologically, you know, what to expect if you get caught up with these kind of situations. You know, the whole, when they're projecting onto someone else, or in some cases even mirroring back the persona of the other person. But anyway, I watched a video a few days ago, and then obviously that's when I did Karmic Chameleon. And yeah, like this YouTuber then released a video, and like it's like I say, they watched the video and taken shit personally. It's like it weren't actually personal to them in the slightest. I was just, you know, sort of generalising, which is why I then went back and corrected myself. And it's like, no, I'm actually talking about specific types of, in this case, women, that they are fake on the outside, they're fake on the inside, and they don't have the best intentions for people around them. That's what it comes down to. Anyway, so yesterday's video, because I check through horoscopes and stuff like that on YouTube out of curiosity, just to see what's going on and all of this, purely because I don't tap into the divine, as it were, like that. It's like I'm not going to go and read the horoscope that comes in a newspaper. I'd rather see it live, as it were, which is not coincidentally why I ended up getting my own tarot deck. I'm also one of these people that if I don't like the answer that I'm given, rather than accepting the answer, I'm one of these fuckers. I'll be like, nah, you know, I don't like that answer, give me another one. And you know, if truth be told, when it comes down to that, you know, I think I saw it. Yeah, I saw it quite obviously, whereas I did a tarot reading the other day and I didn't like the answer, so I did another one, and it's just like, all right, now it's just a case of they're telling me to shut up, so I just deal with it, you know. It's like this is a you problem. Stop asking the same damn question because we're giving you the same answer and we're getting tired of telling you. So it's like, okay, fair enough. So that is kind of why I ended up getting my own tarot deck. And do I have any intention of doing tarot readings on my channel? No, I don't. I can do tarot readings, but they're for me, right? It's personal to me. Unless one of my friends in real life asked me to do a reading for them, in which case, you know, and again, look, I'm not experienced, I'm not an expert, so it is what it is. And you could argue that it comes with, you know, practice and, you know, honing in your skills and all of that. But anyway, so yesterday's video was about exactly that, you know, as per the title of my video, whereas a lot of readers have been really struggling as to why things haven't quite been panning out in terms of the readings and stuff that they didn't understand, especially when it comes to your person. I'm just sort of saying, right? They can't figure it out. And as I was watching one yesterday, and she was really struggling. So I could tell the frustration in her voice, and it's like, well, I have actually got the answer as to why why you're not understanding what is actually going on for some Gemini out there. But this is the reason as to why. And sure, I could have been a bit more blunt and direct and just been like, oh, well, it's this, right? This is the problem. But I figured since it's a case of people being able to decipher, and look, I'm also going with the assumption that people know how to read the tarot, right? I don't. I know the sort of basics of a few of them, but I don't know them inside out, and I don't know their full meanings and so on. So just based on the core basis, it was like, right, okay, well this is what's going on, this is what needs to happen, then whatever card. I know obviously I picked the cards out to kind of give an explanation. And today I woke up and I put my YouTube on and I started watching a few of the channels that I watch, and then lo and behold, it was the same content creator that I'm assuming, and this is the thing with assumption, right? It can be the mother of all fuck-ups. But I'm assuming that they've watched one of my videos in the past and thought I was talking about them. And then I think that they've watched the most recent video, which was about horoscopes. And it's almost like they're assuming that I'm doing like some sort of magic spell or something. It's like, no, I don't do that. I don't. It's not that I don't believe in it. It's I know it's a thing. I know people do go out there and do it. I mean, you do a Google search for spell casting and you'll find all sorts. And like I said time and time again, the reason I won't do them, especially if they're negative or if they're bad for someone else in one way or another, I don't want that shit coming back on me. Thank you very much. So then, I mean, I watched the content creator's video to the end, and I did initially do a sort of like straight up video, and I thought, you know what, no, I'm going to sit down and do this properly because it deserves my time and effort, and to give I suppose, an all-encompassing view. And there's two ways you could look at it, right? You could be like, oh, well, they obviously weren't talking about you, as in me, so why am I taking it personally? It's like, well, it's that coincidence thing, isn't it? You know, the first time I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe it's just like a case of let it slide, but the second time it's like, no, hang on a second, it's like, do you actually think I'm talking about you? It's like, no, I'm not. You know, and I don't wish I don't wish ill on people, in the same that, you know, I don't, apart from them shouting outside, I'm thinking about it. I'm joking. I'm joking. You know, I don't wish ill on people in any way, shape or form, for the simple reason it's that karma thing. It's like, you know, treat others as you'd expect to be treated. You know, because eventually that shit will come back around to bite you on the arse. If you're doing bad shit or talking bad shit on people, it's going to come back around eventually. Whether it's you're running around lying and, you know, eventually the truth comes out in the wash and you end up looking stupid, you know. But yeah, I did find it to be really quite interesting, to be fair. I thought to myself, you know what, it's almost like they assumed I was talking about them. It's almost like they assumed I'm picking on them It's like, no. No, if that is the case, I actually wasn't. I was just literally trying to give an explanation as to why a lot of tarot card readers at the moment are struggling when it comes down to doing the horoscopes for Gemini and all of that goes with it. But like I said, I wasn't being blunt and direct, because I thought, well, it's going to be the easiest way, because they're tarot readers. They'd understand the cards better than what I do. So, you know, they'd probably get the gist of it a little bit better. But yeah, and it's interesting because this is the same content creator that they'd done a few videos, and it's sort of like the stuff that they were talking about, although it wasn't about me, it was about someone else, and that someone else, I wouldn't be surprised if the stuff that they were talking about, if it was the sort of stuff that they would do to me out of spite. And I'm not talking about the content creator, I'm talking about the person that the content creator was talking about, that they would do things just to spite me because, I don't know, maybe because they're not me, maybe because they hate me. I honestly don't have a clue. But the person that the content creator was talking about are the type to get involved in magic. They are the type to do that sort of a thing on people just out of pure hate, envy and spite. You know? But yeah, and I suppose to give some clarification, like I said in the video after that, which was numerology? I think, hang on a second. Because I've never gotten involved in numerology. Karmic's numerology and doing things the right way. You know, I've never really looked into numerology up until recently. I'm not a fan of numbers in the first place, so that's probably why. You know, maths isn't my strong point, but whatever. And then, like I say, when it comes down to that, it was a case of after watching this content creator's video, I'm thinking, is that really what you think, or am I just getting the wrong end of the stick? You know, because there's two ways. This is one of the problems with, I suppose, tarot and stuff like that. And in fact, people in situations, tarot and all that aside, you got to remember there's like, what, 7.8 billion people on the planet. So sooner or later, someone is bound to say something that someone else can resonate with or relate to in one way or another, and then take on the assumption that they're being spoken about. In the same sense as I'm sat here and it's like, they might not be talking about me, but because of the topics, I'm like, no, it would make sense, because maybe they have watched the channel, maybe they did take shit personally, which wasn't actually intended about them in the first place, and then they've gone ahead and done another one, assuming what they're assuming, and it's like, has it crossed your mind that maybe you're wrong? You know, has it crossed your mind that maybe you're wrong? And it's like, yes, there might be a few synchronicities here and there, but maybe we're not actually talking about each other. I'm just saying, this is something that, as far as like when they do what they do, I've got a hell of a lot of the way they do it, and the way the way they flow, right, is absolutely fascinating, and I've got a lot of time for them. But I also get the impression that they think that if I'm right in my assumption being the mother of all fuck-ups, that maybe I'm out to get them in some way, shape or form. It's like, no, I'm not out to get anyone, man. I'm not out to get anyone. I'm not. And again, because there was a lot of talk about financial this and that and recognition, it's like, my channel has never been about getting recognition. My channel has never been about making money. Never, ever, ever. And never will it be. Because it's more to do with passing down knowledge. Whether I'm talking about the reasons as to why men go their own way, you know, why men swear off relationships because of the negative effects it can have on a man's life, you know, and understanding or getting the sort of fundamentals of, air quotes, red pill knowledge, you know, being aware of, I suppose, what is referred to as female nature, but I think that's a bit kind of wrong. I think it's a bit kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say it's just female nature, I think it's human nature. But I think because a lot of the time it comes, like what we talk about or what we have spoken about, is more to do with relationships with women and how they are and how they go about themselves and how they hold themselves, and in some cases how they project themselves onto others. But anyway, so yeah, in all, to wrap it up with the sort of conclusion to this video, do I talk about anyone specific when I'm calling out things in terms of women's behaviour? Sometimes, and it's usually sometimes from my past rather than someone that I've seen out there. Have I spoken about anyone recently for them to take shit personal, like content creators? No. You know, there has been a few times where I've sort of pointed a few things out, like I did a video a little while ago about how to make someone with narcissism feel guilty. It's like, well, you can't do it because they don't care in the first place. That is not a place that they come from. They don't understand guilt. They'd understand pity if their shit didn't work out. They'd understand, being able to soak up the energies of people because their life is so bad, despite the fact that they created that for themselves. But that's as close as it gets. And again, it's never, ever, ever a personal attack on the individual, unless I'm making fun of what they're wearing, but then that's just my sense of humour anyway. And if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you don't. So, anyway, I want to wrap this one up. Just something that I thought was worth talking about, because sometimes it's like I said, coincidences. Like the first time I thought, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone's watched my channel and watched a particular video and thought, oh yeah, they're talking about me. And it's like, I probably wasn't. But if I'm talking, the thing is, right, if you can look at a stranger's video, right, someone that you don't know in real life, and you listen to the stuff that they're talking about, and you're sitting there taking it personal because something resonates, something that I've said actually rings true to your way of life or your way of thinking, then the problem isn't with me because I don't know you personally. The problem is with you, and you've recognised that you might have these patterns or traits or thoughts or whatever. That is literally on you. That has nothing to do with me. Nothing. I'm just saying, but yeah, I think that just wraps about everything up really. In conclusion, it's like, I'm not out to get anyone, I'm here to pass on knowledge and experiences of the stuff that I go through in my life, and every now and then these things crop up, and it's like, well, the first time maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's just chance, right? But the second one, and then to see him get so fucking wound up and irate over something that I literally have no hate or ill will for them whatsoever, and they're sitting there going fucking batshit crazy about themselves, and I'm like, man, you need to chill the fuck out, because it's not all about you. This is where we start going down the path of like personality disorders. People with personality disorders instantly assume that everything that gets spoken is about them, that everything that evolves around the world is about them. This is when you start looking into personality disorders for what they are, And if that's your mindset, if you're going around constantly on the defensive, assuming that people are talking about you, or that what their reference is to do with you, look, if the shoe, what's the saying? One of my subscribers said years ago, if it don't apply, let it fly, right? Simple as that. If the shoe doesn't fit, the shoe doesn't fit. But if you're going to make it fit, then that's on you, I'm just saying. Anyway, wrapping it up. So thanks all for listening. Thoughts, comments and opinions, feel free to jot them down. And like I keep saying time and time again, don't fuck about with shit you don't know about, especially when it comes down to magic, because you shouldn't. I'm just saying, like, and actually, you know what, I haven't finished, sorry. There's also another sort of thing with that, with the beliefs that I have in terms of spirituality. There's a strong going thing that says, if there's something that you want to achieve, rather than relying on magic, why don't you go out there in the physical and make it happen, And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It's simple as that, Rather than trying to force something through using exterior forces, putting it out to the universe, going through all of that. It's like, no, just is what it is. Sometimes in life there's things that will just come to you because they're meant for you, and other times they won't because they're just not. It just is what it is. So anyway, thanks all for listening. To the next one. Stay cool, stay free. Peace out.